Hey, what's up everyone? Today I wanted to make another market watch video because with OP05 and ST10 on the horizon, I wanted to, sort of get you guys prepared and tell you what I'm picking up myself as well. So going into it, well, let me start with this. So going into OP05, the main decks are going to be Purple Luffy, Blue-Black Sakazuki, Enel, Katakuri, maybe a few Red-Green Law stragglers if they don't want to switch decks, maybe one or two red-purple laws, but it's mostly going to be filled with blue-black Sakazuki more than anything else, and the purple Luffy as well. So that's kind of why most of these specific decks and most of these cards that I've been looking at have shot up specifically, because there's no guaranteed reprint for OP01 and some of these other promos and stuff like that, and there's no guaranteed reprint for even OP02, other things going forward, so it is kind of now or never, in a sense, for a lot of these cards, unless you want to be paying an exorbitant amount. So yeah, going into Magellan, he's just a really good card for Purple Luffy. He's $11 now, up from $3 a month ago. So if you can't tell, people are clearly starting to prepare. We've got Queen. Queen is worth 3 structure decks now. So isn't that really cool? It was $10, and now it's, working its way up to 30 as well. Again, Purple Luffy gonna make very good use of this card. 3,000 Worlds. A rare is $3.50. This is gonna be the next Otama, more than likely, from OP01 that we see. A uncommon or rare card going for $7, $8. Bottom decks a 5 or less with Sakazuki. You can basically bottom deck anything you want. Yeah, really good card, really annoying, and need to get it now. It's not going to go down much more. I would definitely pick it up now rather than later. We've got Dracula Mihawk from OP01, up from $4 in August to $24 now. Absolutely ridiculous what can happen to a card when people stop looking at it for 2 seconds. Get this card now. It's going to be a $45 card before you know it, especially if OP01 doesn't get reprinted. If it's not reallocated in any way, this is going to continue going up forever unless it gets reprinted in an alt art or something like that, or one of those collection boxes or whatever. Doflamingo OP01, just a rare, mind you, is $4. So, getting a little bit exhausting on some of these rares. I know I just want like another playset of them. I was like, oh, let me see if I can pick up another playset. Oh, it's $16? Never mind. So, yeah, $4 rare. Once again, OP01 is skyrocketing. Everything is doubling, tripling, quadrupling, etc. Pick these up now. It's one of the best blockers in the entire game, and it avoids so many different KO effects, whether it be Kiros because he's 3 cost rather than 2 or 1, whether it be Robin because she KOs a 3000 power or less, Marco, all of these different cards that specifically weirdly don't fit into this niche of a 3-4. So really good blocker, and can't really be KO'd by most generic things. We've got Kuzan Super Rare here. I was actually looking at getting a playset of these back when it was about $5 in September, and now it's $14. So that's really unfortunate. Going to be one of the best cards with Sakazuki, the blue-black leader, especially with the newer version of that deck that's coming out that plays mostly low-cost cards and stuff like that, rather than relying on the 10-cost Kuzan and other things. So yeah, on play, draw 1, and when attacking, give an opponent's character -4. One of the best black cards in the entire game, without a doubt, and I would pick up a playset right now if you ever intend on playing black. Same thing with Borsellino. You should have had a playset of this card already because of how good it is. It's a 6k blocker for 4 cost, and it can't be KO'd by card effects. Insane. Can still be bottom decked by 3000 Worlds, which is why that card is so good, but absolutely insane card. Pick it up now. It's going to be in every black deck forever, unless they make another card like Sabo, which can kind of replace it potentially. We've got 10 cost Kuzan. Not a lot of Sakazuki players are playing this, but you still might want to get your hand on a copy regardless, because it has doubled in price in the last few months, and it has one of the best, if not the best, lingering effects in the entire game. Just consistent -5 cost to everything on the field forever until you get rid of them. Really strong. The only out to him is basically Red Rock, because I'm not going to attack with this card more than likely if I can help it if I'm playing black personally, unless I'm going for game. We've got Gordon. Now, there is going to be an OP06 reprint of Gordon called Raise Max, and he's a film card and Revolutionary Army card, so it's effectively going to be a better Gordon because it's going to have 3 searchers with the Revolutionary Army, the Dan, and the Luffy film searcher as well. So, activate main, place this character at the bottom of the owner's deck, and give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 3,000 power during this turn, so it's a 1 cost minus 3k, which is absolutely ridiculous. No wonder why this card is $20. Yeah, absolutely ridiculous. Going to be very, very good in red-purple law specifically. I'm assuming that's why it's skyrocketing. That deck is going to use this card the most effectively for sure. We've got Otama from OP01, Romance Dawn, uncommon. This might be the most ridiculous card in the game at the moment, but it's also one of the most versatile cards in the game. On play, give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 2,000 power during this turn. Arguably the best red card in the entire game, besides maybe like starter deck Luffy. You know, there's so many different ways you can use it. You can use it with Robin, use it with Marco, use it to just attack into an opponent's character easier and get it off the field, or just use it as a 2k counter, you know, the OG way. We've also got Law from OP01. If you plan on playing Law, get the cards. They're not going to go down more. What are you doing? I promise you, they're not going to go down more. Even if Law ends up flopping in OP05 and beyond, it's not going to go down anymore, I don't think. People are always going to love this deck. People are always going to try to make this deck work. It's kind of like Nami in that sense. There's always going to be a Nami player. There's always going to be a Law player. People just cannot help themselves. The decks are too much fun. Other than that, just one of the best generic blockers in the game with his on-play effect. Lots of shenanigans you can do there with a ton of different decks, and just one of the best cards in the game in general. Same thing with this card, the other Law. Restand Law is also climbing up towards $10 now, so that's looking pretty expensive for a playset of both of these at this point. Again, please get it now. If you can get them from the actual structure decks themselves, like if you can get the actual starter decks, I would get those instead. But if you can't, definitely pick up copies of these because they're insane, they're only going to go up more, and the deck is way too much fun not to try. Brûlé, really weird card here. It's a $6 starter deck card. There's only 2 in the starter deck, so it makes sense. But it kind of sucks because she's one of the best yellow cards in general because she's a trigger blocker. Yeah, $6, so that's kind of unfortunate. If you didn't get 2 Big Mom starter decks, I would definitely pick up 2 to 4 of these, depending on how many you got. And if you didn't, get them. Same thing with starter deck Linlin. 7 cost Big Mom can still be used in NL, so she's starting to go up a little bit. She's not going to be like 10 cost Big Mom, where she's not really going to be used as much going forward unless you're playing specifically Katakuri or Big Mom. But yeah, this 7 Mom is still going to reign supreme. You still get the effect even though you don't have the Big Mom Pirates leader, so really, really good. And you can see, you know, she's just going up and up and up. I think she's going to have an alternate art at some point soon, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, anyways, that's something to look forward to. And last but not least, we have Charlotte Katakuri, the secret rare from OP03. I did not want to pay $50 for this card, but I did, especially because I knew it was like $25 for the longest time. I just never picked another one up. I thought it would drop down more for some reason, and then after reading this effect a million times, I said, oh, yeah, it makes sense it costs that much. One of the best removal cards in the game. Add up to 1 character with a cost of 8 or less to the top or bottom of the owner's life cards face up. Gets basically anything off the field you want. If you're playing yellow and black, which there's not great leaders for at the moment, but you still could play it, then it basically can remove anything from the field that you want. Very good card, one of the best cards in yellow. Definitely a 3 or 4 of in almost every single yellow deck, and that is the reason why it's skyrocketing so much. But that's pretty much about it, guys. So basically, to recap, black, blue Sakazuki, Enel, and purple Luffy are all coming out, so that is pushing all of these prices up, as well as just the lack of availability of OP01 is pushing stuff like Otama and the Laws up quite a bit. So, anyways, hopefully you guys pick some of these cards up. Hopefully I shed some light on this, and hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe, and until the next one, I'll see you.